Hello, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank you for watching. So, I just reviewed the trailer from HBO Max's Lanterns, and I'll say one thing about the series before I get into my criticisms. I would like to say that the way the show is shot visually, in terms of the lighting, gives it a very crisp and lucid look. I think the show is very visually appealing. It looks well shot, well made. I really like the cinematography, but the problem I find with this series is that it is very thematically incorrect with its portrayal of Hal Jordan and John Stewart, and kind of how it goes about explaining the Lantern Corps and the dynamics. First of all, let's start with the portrayal of Hal Jordan and John Stewart. First of all, this Lantern series makes John Stewart and Hal Jordan out to be detectives, which they are not. Hal Jordan is a Air Force pilot, and John Stewart is a Marine. They both work in the military, but they are not detectives, and the series makes them out to be detectives who are solving a murder, and that is thematically inaccurate for the characters. The second, let's focus on the Green Lantern ring in this series. This series makes John Stewart out as a Green Lantern to be who has the willpower, but he hasn't formally and properly proved himself. This is very inaccurate to how a Green Lantern ring works. The Green Lantern finds a suitable user that has the willpower and has actively demonstrated. If John Stewart really has a ring that is meant for him, that means that the ring should have already chosen him and he should already be a full-fledged Green Lantern with the costume, with the ring, and the ability to make constructs. He should not be a Lantern to be that has a ring waiting for him. This is very inaccurate to how the Green Lantern ring works. And then the idea of how Jordan training John Stewart is also inaccurate. Now, how Jordan can be a mentor and a guide figure to other Lanterns, but him as a active trainer to John Stewart is not only inaccurate because that's not their dynamics. How Jordan was not the one to train John Stewart, but that's not really how Jordan's function. Kilowog, this is Kilowog. He is a Green Lantern that trains new recruits, and he often takes them on missions or experiences that has them training without the ring to be able to survive without it, and he puts them in dangerous experiences. He is the true trainer when it comes to training new Green Lantern recruits, not Hal Jordan. This series contextualizes Hal Jordan's role when it comes to guiding and helping other Green Lanterns. And more on Kilowog later because his dynamic with Hal Jordan is quite notable, but the series Lanterns apparently disregards this. And another thing, the series makes it out to be that John Stewart is apparently going to replace Hal Jordan. This is not accurate. The closest in the comics we've ever had, really, as a replacement for Hal Jordan was when Kyle Ragnar became a Green Lantern. He became a Green Lantern because Hal Jordan was deranged and became parallax and nearly destroyed the Green Lantern Corps. And Kyle Ragnar was chosen in this emergency to be the Green Lantern. In fact, he was basically the sole representative for the Green Lantern Corps for a while. Also in the series, Hal Jordan, John Stewart asks Hal Jordan about talking with the other Lanterns, and Hal Jordan is dismissive with saying that they're all aliens and one of them's a squirrel. This strongly defies the true dynamic of Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern. He has a strong rapport with many of the Green Lanterns, and in fact, Hal Jordan was in a relationship with the female Green Lantern, Arisia Rab, and he has a strong rapport with Kilowog, who I've shown earlier. They're like brothers in arms. So this is incorrect to say that Hal Jordan doesn't really have a good bond with the other Lanterns. This series is portraying Hal Jordan incorrectly in multiple ways. And then there's Salak, who Hal Jordan has a very good rapport with. So yeah, although this series, looks visually well made and has some good cinematography, it gets very important aspects of the Green Lantern lore and the characters of Hal Jordan and John Stewart incorrect. I will take a more in-depth review and analysis should I watch the series when it comes out in August. Okay, thank you all for watching.